A Vietnam War happening in New Zealand. I don't know whether I wouldn't say that all of his novels are dystopian. I guess I think that the dystopia portrayed in Smith's Dream is a function of that idea of invasion. So that's a comment. And the second comment is you've compared it with Man Alone. I wondered if you had read Frank Sargison's short stories and books which heavily influenced Stead, who was a very close friend, and which are all about mateship. And so I guess at that time, which wasn't all that long ago, it seems to me, but it probably does to you, at that time this idea of mateship was just incredibly strong in a lot of literature in New Zealand. So it's interesting to think about Smith's Dream, which I've always thought of as a political book. It's interesting to think about it as a dystopian book and to think about the role of women in it. So thank you for a new angle.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if I need to comment something on your comments.
No, but I think you might just look at some of Frank Sargison's short stories.
Yeah, I read some of his books, and it's really interesting. And we also should, understand that it was almost 40 years ago, and I hope that a lot have changed in that time, but actually
he was my MA supervisor, Stead was, so that's why I wanted to come here.
Thank you. Other question?
No, question. Maria, actually my question is kind of hypothetical, and of course it's about Tolstoy, sure. So could you imagine that Alenka, Varvara, and Benedict live here in New Zealand, and could you imagine a Tolstoy story here in New Zealand context? Would it be possible?
No, it's not possible, and that's what all my thesis is about. That both novels, Stead Smith's Dream and Tolstoy's Конец, are written for their own nation and national identity topic is the topic that appears in all these dystopias, and this is something new to the genre because it wasn't so in Orwell's and Martin and Bradbury's novels would tend to be more international, and this is why they're internationally recognized, so it's easy to relate to them for different nationalities. But it's not the case with Stead and Tolstoy. And in Конец, actually, the novel Конец is called something like Encyclopedia of Russian Life after Pushkin and all this stuff. So it's a lot about Russia. That's a lot about Russia, and this can happen only in Russian background. The same about Smith's Dream. And that's another topic that's I can tell you when I'm going to talk about my poster. That's in my poster, the national identity in both novels. So my answer is what happened.
Thinking about C.S. And Benedict choosing the banal but beautiful woman, do you think that Tolstoy, in the process of writing a book like that, feminizes him and therefore returns him to the kind of feminized males that she has in other books?
Oh, probably. I think it's, as I said, it's more for the satirical effect. This kind of she is laughing, and all her books it's a postmodernist novel, so it's a lot of laugh and satirical mocking. So I think it was right.
I don't know those guys, but when you mentioned the love triangle there, which Kathy again referred to. The impression that came to mind for me was Zamyatin's Way, with the dichotomy of different types of women, the male character, and though indeed we, as it says, indeed it's a male perspective, first person, but there you have there's a very strong female character in Ida, this subversive revolutionary. You know, she's all these. She's a dynamic force, very great, and which could be an antecedent for the Barbara. I wonder if you may mention that too.
Yeah, probably I haven't thought about it. Yeah, I agree with that. Probably that heroine of the Matin is the best woman character in dystopias because she's so proactive. She's a nice character anyway. But as you already said, it's still male perspective, and we know very little about her. Actually, it's like. But it's interesting that you mentioned that I can parallel the two of them, Varvara and the Matin heroine.
You rightly mentioned Zamyatin's We in this classical program. They rightly mentioned it first because it predates Huxley's and Orwell's novels. and it might be inform the Alzheimer's in a greater degree. And it's rather complex. It's a political style. And even, the other female, she's strong in a very different kind of way.
Yeah.
And she ends up outside the walled city, and the savage
Yes.
pregnant, which also gets against the rules of the society.
And she's the one who stays alive.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
And she's behind the wall.
But has that classical feminine weakness of being, quick to cry and emotional and all that kind of nonsense that as the narrator refers to her. But she represents a hope of the future as well. Well, thank you for that. We're fascinating.
Yeah, thanks for you. Actually, this triangle in the Latin, those two female character and the male character, and the triangle in Chris can be compared as well. And can be true. But the thing is that again, Benedict, the protagonist of Chris, chooses the other woman. So it would be like in the Matin he chooses that, but he chooses revolutionary one. And he again Tolstoy. And as I said, there is no contradiction between inner worlds and appearances in the Matin and no other novels. It's only in Chris.
She likes to invert expectations.
This postmodern stuff.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Maria? Okay, thank you so much. I'd like to thank both Maria and Elena.